This is Prime7 News at 6:30 with Madelaine Collignon.
Tonight, firm denials and demanding answers. The fallout from Kempsey's jailhouse affair. At least 50 dead as forest fires threaten the outskirts of Athens. The multi-million-dollar lawsuit over the death of an Australian woman in the US. And honouring the Australians at the centre of one of the most miraculous rescue operations in history. Good evening. First tonight, we're learning about the Kempsey jailhouse affair involving a notorious cop killer and a female prison guard. She's now accused of smuggling in contraband, but an allegation that she's also pregnant with his child has been denied.
Peter Severin is supposed to be in charge of all New South Wales prisons, but admits the situation at Kempsey Jail is unacceptable.
A devastating bushfire tragedy is unfolding in Greece tonight, where at least 50 people have been killed. Tourists and locals fled to beaches as flames engulfed villages just outside of Athens.
The symbol of Greece, shrouded in smoke. Tourists make their way from the Acropolis as strong winds fan two massive fire fronts towards the ancient city. Opposition leader Bill Shorten is facing new pressure. Leaked internal polling shows the Liberals are seizing the lead in Super Saturday's by-elections in the Tasmanian seat of Braddon. The poll follows another suggesting Labor would win in a landslide with Anthony Albanese as leader.
For an opposition leader confronting do-or-die by-elections, Bill Shorten has been keeping the volume low. Mark Riley, 7 News.
To breaking news now, and a federal Labor MP at the centre of bullying allegations is taking personal leave effective immediately. Emma Hassar says she's been receiving threatening messages and has referred them to the federal police. One of the claims against her is that she treated her staff like slaves, including getting them to clean up after her dog. New video appears to show no lessons have been learned.
It can hardly be a career highlight, but for this staffer, walking her boss's dog and all the associated duties have become part and parcel of parliamentary business.
While we're on the subject of money, let's check finance now. And the Australian share market has closed stronger, buoyed by mining, financial and healthcare stocks. BHP has been served with a federal court class action over investor losses following the fatal Samarco Dam disaster in Brazil. And the little Aussie battlers back below 74 US cents. A 30-metre crane is causing chaos in Melbourne this evening after it was blown backwards in wild winds overnight. Hundreds of local residents were forced to evacuate their homes. They still haven't been allowed to return, with fears the crane could topple over. Donald Trump's ramped up the rhetoric against Iran. Will have the latest on his Twitter war next. And the giant iceberg that's bearing down on a village, and there's nothing the locals can do to stop it. Foreign Minister Julie Bishop is in the US tonight, preparing for a two-day meeting with the American Secretaries of State and Defence. She arrives on the heels of a controversial new relationship with Russia and as President Trump begins new taunts against Iran.
Could a war on Twitter develop into the real thing? Donald Trump ramped up his rhetoric towards Iran today.
A village in Greenland is being threatened by an enormous iceberg. The giant floating mountain of ice, weighing an estimated 11 million tonnes, is slowly moving towards a remote fishing community which is home to 169 people. The iceberg rises about 100 metres out of the water, roughly the same height as London's Big Ben. The future of the town now depends on the weather forecast. One of the NRL's top whistleblowers has escaped the axe despite the Sharks-Raiders disgrace. More on that in sport up next. And proving the years have far from mellowed him, a former NRL bad boy at it again.
Tonight's sport brought to you by the new Great Value Lunch Specials, only at Hogs, Australia's Steakhouse.
The NRL has dropped the axe on the touch judge at the centre of Rugby League's latest refereeing farce. But the referee involved, Gerard Sutton, who is the brother of referee boss Bernard, will still officiate this weekend.
With Canberra's season at stake, Cronulla were incorrectly awarded a try. A monumental blunder that turned the blowtorch on the touch judge.
Former NRL bad boy John Hopewate is in trouble again after being sent off for throwing punches at a blindsided opponent in a Sydney club game. Vision obtained by Fox Sports clearly shows Hopewate hit a defenceless player before unleashing a foul-mouthed tirade threatening to bash him. Don't go anywhere. Meteorologist Karl Lijnders will be along next with a look at the national weather forecast. And thanks to Peter for sending us in this photo taken at Iluka.
Tonight's weather brought to you by Incitec Pivot Fertilisers. Realise potential.
Hello there, Karl Lijnders with a look at the national weather. Fast-moving cold fronts bringing gales to southern parts of the nation over the last 24 hours. A cold front that slipped through this afternoon, or this morning through the southeastern part of South Australia, triggered a tornado in Kingston with some damage reported there at the BP station. Some strong winds around Melbourne over the recent days as well. Things will settle down as high pressure moves in, however, warming up ahead of an upper trough that'll bring us some rain and cloudy conditions across widespread areas of New South Wales this weekend. So that front will be on the way out. We'll keep an eye on this upper level feature as it moves in from the west as we get towards the weekend. It will bring some rain and some welcome falls potentially through northern and eastern parts of New South Wales. Next week, though, a series of little cold fronts still to push through. Other models are suggesting some stronger systems next week. So this particular run is very conservative. Other indications are for some heavier falls than what this is showing. So again, this is likely to change again, but still showing us the chance of rainfall, which is good news indeed. Let's have a look at the rainfall, how that transpires. Again, this is likely to change. The Bureau's analysis is updated again from 5 a.m. tomorrow morning for those early birds wanting to know what will fall. Let's have a look at what's happening around the state tomorrow, and we see sunny skies for most. Again, very warm in the north across the central parts. Tamworth 22 degrees, temperatures running up to 10 degrees above normal about the tablelands. The winds will ease through the southern inland. Melbourne becomes fine at 15. Adelaide, some late showers with that next system, and Brisbane sunny and 25 degrees. More weather coming your way tomorrow. See you then.
Thanks, Karl, and that's your news for tonight. Thanks for your company. I'm Madelaine Collignon. We'll leave you with more of those terrifying pictures coming out of Greece, where forest fires are devastating villages on the outskirts of Athens. At least 50 people are dead, but there are fears the death toll will rise even further. We'll have news and weather updates for you throughout the evening. I'll see you soon.